Are you girls ready?
So yeah, we're gonna get started on this portrait project. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Just about ready? I'm sure we'll get my paper separate. Hold on.
How about you hold it when I do it? Okay, yeah.
So I included different faces for you to choose from. You can choose the lens. That's perfect. Okay, so first, so first you're just going to take your photograph, and then you're just going to take that onto the wall, or onto the window, sorry. And my window has like these little lattice things, so it makes it more complicated.
I don't know how much tape you need.
Okay.
That should be good. Yeah. Okay.
Nora, are you near a window? Are you going to move to one?
Can you see the girl? Because you can see the boy too.
I can't hear you.
Hold on. I can see the girl further. So probably that's not gonna work.
Are you next to a window, Nora?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
When I put Madeline's picture in the window, so it's double-sided. So
It's double-sided. Oh.
whenever I put it in the window, you can see both.
You can see both?
Yeah.
Well, you could use a photograph of anyone else, or...
Let me see. Okay.
And I'm sorry about that. That didn't even occur to me.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can also use I put magazines in the box. See if you find a picture
of someone's
magazine. I think that might work too. But it can be a person of any size.
Do you want to do?
Be like your school photo. It just needs to be a picture of a face.
Do you want to do your school picture?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That'll be fun to draw yourself.
Still up 60.
Yeah, we'll need that.
Okay.
Oh, look at that! That'll be perfect.
Keep down.
Okay. Let me try it.
Okay. Baby picture of you. Give me the
That's beautiful.
Here's an extra tape.
Where were you able to find a picture?
Okay.
Where's the paper? Yeah.
Oh, look, you're going to do a school picture too. That's perfect.
A school picture. That's good.
You guys are going to be tracing them, is that correct?
Yeah. But we're going to put another paper over top. The photograph won't be harmed at all.
Okay.
What kind of Sharpie do I need to use?
Either one, but we'll be doing that later. First, to trace, we'll just need a pencil.
Get your pencil.
Okay, you can go ahead and tape your photograph onto your window.
Can we now make something with this? And
Yes, and then you can take your paper that you're going to be tracing over the top.
Can you take
You can see that I can still see that face underneath my paper.
Hold the paper down, baby.
We're using the window like a light box.
Yeah, like a light box.
If you take drawing or design classes in high school and college, you'll probably use to help you trace things. I guess
Yeah,
now
that's
that we have CAD, we don't have to do as much tracing as we used to do.
Little, don't give me so much. Little papers, okay? Give me more. It's small.
I'll get some.
Okay.
We're keeping it on.
All right. This should be good. You have your pencil, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And shoot. Go trace it.
Yep. Okay. So let's wait for Nora real quick
Okay.
and let her put her tracing paper over her photograph. So then you're going to, Nora, you're going to tape your paper over your photograph. So it's just right over your photograph.
You know that roll of thin paper? There we go. There it is.
It's,
Hey.
And then the bottom on tape so they can fold it up and look at it, or does it matter?
It doesn't really matter. On the top, it's just fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she could
Mine
do
is
that.
so
Hers is a photograph, so she may not be able to see it as clearly as I can.
Yay. Oh. Oh,
Are you able to see the face and stuff, the features?
well, mine looks pretty easy.
Yours is good. Awesome, Madeline. Okay,
That's
so
little.
what we're going to do is we're going to start by outlining their face, just like we did yesterday. Okay. And so I'm going to start outlining below her hairline even.
I'm going to start my guy at the top of the head. I'm going to do hair because he's got some interesting hair that I want to put in my artwork.
Head and the hair.
Okay.
No.
Okay. And then you can outline hair if you'd like.
Oh,
Bless you.
thank you.
Just getting the shape. So she has like all these like wispy hair pieces, but you don't have to draw in all the little hairs, just the shape, the basic shape of it. Okay, so yesterday when we drew the oval, we were including this top part here in our big oval. And you can see that the eyes are pretty much in the middle of this big oval area. And then the nose and the mouth, and then the hairline.
And nice.
Yeah, so you guys can see how we broke that up. Okay, now you can start by tracing the eyes. You can really see the shape of your eye when you do that. So her eyes are not completely an almond shape like we were drawing yesterday. So your eyes might have a lot of different shapes. There's lots of different shapes to eyes.
Mine's almost like sort of like an oval.
Sort of like an oval. Some are squinty, some are bigger, some are short, some are long. lots of different shapes, and this is a great activity to
My
kind
eyes
of
look very
look
small.
at shapes. Yeah, I bet they are, because you're a baby in that picture, huh?
Yep. I look also weird or scary whenever I trace them.
Okay, and when we get the eyes in, you can go around the pupil of the eye, and you can kind of see how it's a ball shape, but it's probably
It's
not all of the ball. You don't see the top of it, huh?
Yeah, it's just like sort of like this.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little curved U, huh?
So just like a C.
Like a fishbowl, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of things with that eye. Okay, there we go. Sorry.
Okay. And then we could go to the nose and
Trace it.
trace the bottom part where it's a little darker and it's in shadow. Okay, so I'm just going to start at the bottom here and go around your nostrils.
Like this.
Here, I'll take mine off so you can see it.
Like that.
Yeah, do you see how mine is just the bottom little nostrils?
Ooh.
Let me show you mine too. I'm doing my little holes like I did yesterday.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can see my guy. I'm just filling in his little nostrils and then drawing the line on the outside of his nose.
yep. And see, he has a really defined bridge of his nose part. And so you can definitely draw that part too. Hers is not as defined, I don't think. But then, yeah, you can shade in these little nostril holes if you'd like.
Like this.
Good job. Yeah, that's exactly right, Madeline.
Perfect.
I don't want to
How's
make
it going, Nora?
Oh,
I can see it. Looks great. That's awesome. Okay, and then after the nose, we can go down to the lips, and you can do all of the lips or just part of the lips, whatever you want to define on your picture.
Bobby, he didn't he? What did he say?
My girl has these like little kind of indents on the side of her lips that make it a little darker. I like drew a little darker spot right there.
And my guy has like lines, like vertical lines on his lip. I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
I didn't see.
Can you see?
I see.
All those vertical lines in his lips.
Yeah, you can get all that detail if you want. And like the top of her lip is shaded darker than the bottom lip. So you could even shade your lips. Oh, that looks awesome, Madeline.
My curtain keeps getting in the way.
Okay. Now we can do the ears if your ears are showing.
How much is my ears are showing?
Only one of my ears is showing. Well, like the other half is covered by her hair.
I am not covered.
I went ahead and drew this piece of hair that goes over the ear.
Like
To
this?
make sure I can't see it. Here, put the camera down just a bit. That looks great. Yep, that's perfect. And if you can see other lines in your ear, you can draw those lines. I don't really see many lines in her ear. Her ears are pretty flat.
Where's the better spot that I can put it at? Yeah, that looks good.
Good, going good. Okay, and then you can do the eyebrows. And you can just go around the shape of them, or you can draw the hair, whatever you prefer.
I think my eyebrows are big.
My eyebrows. Okay, so ready? Okay, so she has a little bit more detail on her eyes that I would like to include. Like she has a little crease over her eye for her eyelid crease right here. And then she has some eyelashes that maybe I want to include too.
Oh, I have some eyelashes.
She has like a little line. She has a little line underneath her eyes too. Do you see those little lines I put around her eye?
Oh, yeah.
My guy has really fair hair, so it's really hard to see his eyelashes.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, yeah.
My girl's eyelashes are just really short. They're almost not there.
I don't have other kinds of eyelashes in the bottom.
You can't see your eyelashes on the bottom?
Nope.
Well, you don't have to draw them if you don't see them.
Yep. If you don't see it, then you can just leave it off.
Yeah.
I don't even know how much eyelashes I even have.
Okay, now you can shade in your eyes or your eyebrows, any dark areas. You can like color it in a little.
Some song is stuck in my head.
So you can see that this drawing, if you took away this picture from behind it, really looks like her, doesn't it?
Yeah. I wish I could take mine off.
Can you take it off?
Yeah, you can. You can take yours off.
You can just maybe bring the whole thing down.
Yeah,
Can you tear it?
all of it down.
Can you tear it apart?
Yeah, you can pull it apart. I'm going to put her back on the window because we're going to do another. Actually, I want to use the guy this time. I'm going to use the other one. And you guys can use
Oh,
your
I do have bottom eyelashes.
You do. The little ones.
Yeah. How does it look?
Let me see.
Can't even see it.
Well, it's hard to see if you're still standing by the window. The tracing paper is so transparent.
Yeah, it's true. But, you know, sometimes people can, as an artist, you can decide what to put in your drawing and what to leave out. So if it's something that's very little and not very noticeable, you can just leave it off. And it'll still look right. Okay, so we're going to keep that tracing for later.
Okay, I took the whole thing. I took the whole thing off.
Okay, that's fine. That's perfect. That's good. So you're going to set that one aside, Madeline. Set
Yeah,
that
just put that one aside.
aside. And we're going to cut another piece of tracing paper.
Yep.
Nora, how you doing, sweetheart? You're doing good? We're going to do, I want you to, let's see what you got. Oh my goodness, that's so good. Oh, that is excellent, Nora. Good job.
Yes, great job.
So we're
Nora.
going to take, you can take that one drawing off, but leave the photograph up, okay?
Yeah.
And we need another sheet of paper. You can cut another sheet of your tracing paper, and we're going to do an exercise that's a little bit different this time, okay? So by the time we sit down to like color and paint and all of that, you're going to have 2 drawings.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So in that first exercise, we were able to see how the eyes and the nose and the mouth are very different depending on who you are. No 2 people are alike. So slight changes in your facial features make you look like who you are. And that helps us to see of different eyes and different mouths. And then this exercise, we are, so like we outlined the features on there, and now this exercise, we're going to be doing something more like this. Okay, we're going to be looking at shadows and highlights, because shadows and highlights are also important to recognize where those are when you're drawing a face, because that's what's going to give your face more dimension. Okay, so it might be a little more tricky than the first exercise, and it's okay.
Nora, are you with us, sweetheart? Okay.
Okay. But these are great practices, and you can try it with lots of different photographs. Try these exercises over and over again. Oh, did you get a new picture?
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Okay, you can just tape it up on the window. That looks great.
It's you. We're just going to do exactly the same thing with the paper that we did last time, Nora. Okay?
Yesterday?
So no, just
No,
tape
just-
up your photograph
Yeah.
and then tape up your tracing paper on top of it. So I'm using the guy this time.
I'm using myself again.
You're using
Okay,
yourself.
that's fine. I'm
I'll
using
check
the guy
another one.
again too. I'm not changing my picture.
Okay.
It's the same picture.
This is kind of fun, huh? Because then you can take it off and you have a really realistic looking face, huh?
Yeah.
So this is a fun exercise.
I can see myself good.
I think there she goes. Good job, Nora. We've got some real self-sufficient artists.
Yeah, that's a great window too.
It is.
Like an entire wall.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nora, I was telling Madeline, I don't think you were around. So the first exercise, we traced over the facial features. And this exercise is going to look a little bit different.
And a little hard.
Do you see this picture, Nora, right here? Yeah, you see it. So in this picture, they traced over the dark areas and left the lighter areas. Or you can trace over the light areas and leave the dark areas, okay? So we're going to be looking at shadows and highlights in this one. And you can see that just by tracing the shadows, you still get this face. And you can see who it is. I'm pretty sure this is Matt Damon. So. Okay, so first things, most of the time you will see shadow right under your eyebrow along the bridge of your nose. Okay. So on both sides. You will also see shadow underneath your nose and underneath your lips. You'll see shadow right on this little dip above your lip.
I don't
You'll
see.
also see shadow underneath your chin and in your ear. So just look around those places. See where the shadow is on your face and just start outlining it, the shadow, even if it looks silly and it doesn't look right. Okay, just trust that in the end it'll come out looking cool.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, one of the things that you learn when you start taking classes that are just about drawing is that your brain sometimes tries to take over and tell your eyes what they see, because that's one of the ways we make sense of the world. But when you're learning to draw, you have to draw what you see and not what you know. So we're only drawing what we see, even if at first it doesn't make sense, because once we get done, it'll make sense. So doing this exercise with shadows is a really good way to start learning how to trust your eyes, okay?
So you can see that I traced the shadow on his eyes right there. Like, so some parts of his eyebrow were darker than others, and I just traced like the little dark areas and the dark part of your eyeball. But yours is going to look different than mine because yours is a different person, okay? So it might look funny, but once you take it off, you'll be able to see, oh, that is his eye. Are you starting with the eye area?
I'm starting with the eyes.
So your eyebrows are most likely going to be darker. And definitely the pupil of your eye, your eyeball. And right underneath the bridge of your eye right here is probably going to be darker.
And our guy, Jess, has a really interesting highlight that I'm going to leave off in his eyeball.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to leave that part blank on purpose.
Yeah, that's true. You can leave like little highlights
Underline.
of his eyeball. And then there's probably going to be shadow along the crease of your eyelid. And do you see my eye? I have shadow right underneath my eye here too. So if I was drawing me, I might draw in that shadow. It's looking really good so far, Madeline. Did you go around your eyeball?
Oh,
Hey, Nora. That's good. Good job, Nora. Good job.
Yeah, so you guys have started on the nose. An obvious place on the nose are the nostrils. You can just draw that shape. And the lips, they have an obvious shadow in between the lip, right?
Something I'm noticing on my guy's face is that on one side he has more shadows than the other side.
Yeah.
Where the light is when the photo was taken, there might be more shadows on one side than the other side. And that'll make a really interesting artwork too. If it's uneven, okay.
no.
And then you can trace your hair. And you can just leave out the parts that are lighter and just go over the darker areas of your hair. It might look like some weird shapes in your hair.
Two people are making themselves and two people are making different people.
That's right, Madeline.
See the shapes in his hair where just the shadow is?
Mm.
Yours might be all. If you have really dark hair, you could just do all of it. But there's most likely some highlights in there that you can go around.
Some I have lights. Probably. Do I have any light? I really want to take it off so I can see.
Yeah, you can take it off if you can't see it very well. And look underneath.
Looks like my hair is all.
So, and underneath your lip, you most likely will have some shadow. Our guy has a lot of light on his face, so it's a little harder to see the shadows actually.
Okay. Animal makeup this. Animal makeup this. Makeup this. We got this.
So my guy has a lot of highlights, and I'm going to draw his highlights too. So he has this big highlight on his forehead and down the bridge of his nose that I'm going to draw around as well. And then he has this big highlight on his cheek. So I'm going to draw around that highlight. How are you guys doing? You think you got it?
Let me see, Nora. How you doing? That looks good to me. How do you feel about it? Good.
Good.
Then
Was that a fun exercise?
Yeah.
Good. It's a little different, huh, than the first one.
Yeah.
But it comes out looking really cool. So when you're done, you can go ahead and take it off.
I'm gonna take it off.
And that's what you're left with. But it still looks like him, huh? Okay.
It looks like a little girl. A different from mine.
It almost looks like a paint by numbers thing.
Yeah, it does. It does look like
This
a
is how
paint.
my guy turned out. Can you guys see?
That's awesome. See, so your interpretation isn't wrong. Even if we all drew the same face, we would all do it a little differently.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Jess and I drew the same face, and look how different they look. What she
Yeah.
saw and what I saw are different, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Our artwork should be as different as our personalities.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it makes art amazing.
Because it's more than half fun.
Good job, Nora. Good job. Let me see, Madeline. Yep. Excellent. I can see it. Good job. Real
Awesome.
job.
Okay, so now what we can do is you guys can pick one that you want to paint. And you can take your tracing paper onto the wall first, or onto the window first.
I guess I'll draw.
Okay. And then if you guys could take a paper out of your sketchbook. Is it perforated?
Yes.
Yeah.
I already
So
colored my faces.
some paper that's a little thicker, okay, because we're going to paint on it. So we want some paper that's a little thicker. So your sketchbook paper would be perfect.
Like this?
Yep. So if you can tear out a piece of paper carefully out of there.
Or the one, Madeline, that I gave you in your box.
In your kit, yeah.
The blue sketchbook. That's a mixed media sketchbook, which means you can draw on it, you can paint on it, you can do a lot of things with that paper.
Are you done by the window?
Yeah. Are we done by the window?
Yeah, so take your tracing paper up first, whichever one you choose to paint. I'm gonna paint my highlights and shadow one. You can paint your outline one, whichever one you.
Is she done by the window?
Yeah,
Finish the window?
not yet. She's
Okay.
gonna take her tracing paper onto the window.
Yeah, it'll be her tracing paper and then a sheet like this from her sketchbook. So you, hold on.
We can take the picture down.
Yes, you can take the picture down.
Her blue sketchbook like this that was in her kit.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. The paper is perforated. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, you can just tear it out.
Okay, and then you're gonna take that thicker paper on top of your tracing paper.
Okay.
Do we have to take that one too?
Do we have to tape the paper from the sketchbook?
Yes,
Yes.
on top of your tracing paper.
On top of your tracing paper. So now your tracing paper is what we see underneath. And we're going to trace it again onto our sketchbook paper so we can paint it.
So I'll trace this.
Okay, so just with your pencil again, and you can start tracing it. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly what you traced the first time. You can
Add some hair. Because I don't have hair.
but just go over all your lines that you traced. How are you guys doing?
Good.
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 Jess, something
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do once we get to the part to where we're filling in the shadows. I'm gonna use watercolor to do my painting, but then I'm gonna use a white crayon to go over the highlights.
Oh, cool. So it
And
resists.
color that in, yeah, and then do a wash, and it'll be like a crayon, okay? So Madeline and Nora, if you traced highlights, you can fill it in with white crayon. When we do watercolor in a minute, the water will, like, you can't paint water over crayon. So it's called a crayon resist. So you can paint over it, but it'll still be white, and it'll look like the highlight in your photo.
Yeah, it'll look cool.
Done tracing.
Y'all done tracing? Awesome. Me too.
Now do we need a white color?
So yeah, you can get your white crayon and your black magic marker, your watercolors. You'll need water and a paintbrush too.
Oh, but what kind of size? Like this size?
Yep, that'll work. That'll work great.
Okay. I want to go. Water colors. That's what I'm gonna need. Yeah.
You can start going over all your lines with your marker.
Okay. So you take your white crayon and trace the whole entire
Well,
thing that you
Madeline, look what I'm doing here. Let me show you. So the white crayon is for highlights. If you drew any highlights on your face, that's what I'm using the white crayon for. So let me show you
Yeah.
quick.
You can just, like, this is a highlight, so I could just color inside of this shape with my white.
So I'm just gonna take my right here on the tip of his nose. He has a highlight, and I'm gonna color that in. And then again, right here, like on his nose is a highlight. So I'm gonna color that in with my white crayon.
And then on all your other lines, you're going to use your Sharpie marker and go over all your lines.
So I'll have a few white places, but it'll be mostly black. Okay?
Okay.
How you doing, Nora? You still tracing? So here's mine in progress. Do you see that, Nora? You're just going to go over all your lines with your black Sharpie.
It's a Sharpie. Hard.
You okay?
That looks
Yeah.
good, Nora.
Almost pretty tired. Yeah.
Yeah, your hand gets a little tired tracing everything, huh?
Yeah, I only use my right hand since my left hand goes quick.
Your arms and your hands are building those drawing muscles. Here's what it's like. Well done.
I'm all done.
You're all done? Did you get all traced in black marker?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Good job.
Awesome. How about you, Madeline?
Not yet.
Yet? And if it helps your arm, you can pull it off the window and trace it on the ground. Because sometimes when you have your arm up that long, it can get really tired, huh? Hey, Nora, do you have water in your watercolors and a paintbrush? Okay, you can go get those, or you could even move to the table because now we're just going to paint. So we don't need the window anymore.
Okay. Yeah. This. This is all. Can I bring my picture? Where's my picture already here? Okay.
Okay, here's mine. I just finished it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, now we're gonna get ready to paint.
Okay. So you have, everyone has some water and a paintbrush in your
Instead of using
watercolor.
the paintbrush that is in here, I'm going to use this paintbrush.
Okay, so I'm going to get some of the colors that I want really wet. So I'm going to put lots of water in the paint pots that I want to use. I'm going to use purple and blue and maybe some black. And get them nice and wet. Okay, and we're going to create a watercolor wash is what it's called. And a wash is just a sheet of watercolor on your paper, and it's going to look like this when we're all done. So this is an artist, and this is what she does in her artwork. These are her portraits. Okay, so you can use all different kinds of colors, combinations if you'd like. And what I like to do when I do a wash is I just paint with water first, no color. And I just go over my paper and just get it wet. Oh, and the pen I used is going to smear too. That's okay. That'll be a cool effect. Your guys's won't do that. Okay, and then so then when I add color to it, that color is going to automatically fill in all that area where it was wet real easily. You guys see that? How I'm just putting water on, or putting the color in the water, and it's kind of spreading. More water and continue working your way down your painting or wherever you'd like. And you can change your colors whenever you'd like. Kind of create a gradient effect. And Kristen's going up and down, and I'm going side to side, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whichever way you'd like.
The thing about watercolor is that it's got to have water.
Yep, lots of water. Just keep adding water.
Okay, I think I'm done with my guy.
Yeah, my guy looks pretty good. What do you guys think? How's yours turning out? Looking awesome.
Let's see it.
Oh, wow, that is so cool, Madeline.
Let's see what you got, Nora.
Wow, so pretty.
Yeah.
So tomorrow we're going to continue talking about our features and getting more acquainted with them, because we've kind of gone in a little bit more today how different features look different on different people. So no two eyes are going to be the same shape. Even your own two eyes probably aren't even the same shape. So we're gonna
one. And Jess, isn't it your birthday today?
It is my birthday today.
Yay.
Thank you.
Birthday.
Thank you, Madeline. You're so sweet. So yeah, we're going to see how faces change depending on our expressions too. So it's going to be kind of fun and exciting. We're going to explore some more tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay?
Nora, how you doing? She looks real busy.
Yeah, she's concentrated. You girls did a great job today.
Yes. And you can continue painting, but Jess and I are going to sign off. And Madeline and Nora, it would be so awesome once you finish if your parents could snap a picture and email or text it to me, okay?
Okay.
Madeline and Nora, I know both of your moms have my cell phone number, okay?
Okay.
Will you do that for me? Will you
Yeah.
send pictures so Jess and I can see them when you're done?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nora, give us a thumbs up if that's cool with you. Awesome. Okay, we cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
Thank you so much for a good class, and we'll see you all tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye everybody.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Well, I can get my computer to cut off. Sorry, Nora, my computer is frozen. You are free to get out of this meeting.